Hello and welcome back to my scrap room. My name is Jennifer Perry, and today we are going to be working on again another set of layouts for my Family 2013 album. I need to mention right off the bat I'm learning some new lighting. My glass mat has some serious glare issues, so if I point my lights directly down to where you can see, you get this serious glare, and I'm trying not to blind you or myself. So for the next couple of videos there may be some really weird lighting until I figure out a way to shine light down and still be able to use my glass mat. So just bear with me a little bit on that. I know there's some shattering, I know that things just look a little bit weird, but I'm trying to figure out the best positioning so that you can see what's going on but I don't blind myself. Moving on. So the set of photos that I'm going to be using, and I buried them under cardstock, is part of the convention road trip that we took. This time we stopped in New Orleans just for a few hours. It was really just a rest break, and I really wanted to see the raised above ground cemeteries. I'm going to be using a page map card today, and I realized, and I know I'm a little slow to the game, but I realized today that all of these page map cards were in the back of my page maps book. I had no idea. I guess I never flipped that far back before, but imagine my surprise when I found all these cards. So we are going to be using this page map today, and this is what the layout is going to look like. Maybe. We're going to see. So I'm going to pop this up on my handy dandy little document holder that I have. If the magnet will engage, this is what I'm putting it on. It is just a huge paperclip thing that my husband found at Nebraska Furniture Mart, and it is weighty and I don't knock it over. So these are going to stay the same. Put these to the side. Put my journaling to the side. I'm going to cut my zip strips off. And then this one is a background piece. I'm going to cut the zip strip off this one. I need this piece. And I just realized I didn't get my white daisy, but first I'm going to cut a ½ inch off both sides of this. I'm going to put these off to the side, and I'm going to reach my white daisy really quickly. Now this is going to be a 2-page layout, but not today. Today I'm going to only work on this side. To turn a single page map into a double page map, I'm going to just combine 2 page maps together and make my layout a double page. Does that make sense? So first I'm going to adhere my background. Get it as straight as possible. You guys know I am not the best at getting things straight. And then I want my pink to be... There are no measurements on the background paper, so I am basically guesstimating. Let's do about 8.5, 8 by 11. And I'm going to use a piece of equipment that I have that I always forget that I have, that I need to use more of, and that is my corner rounder. And then I'm going to do, let's do 5.5 by, this is 8. Let's do 5.5 by 8.5. So 5.5 by 8.5. I am just guesstimating these measurements because the only measurements on the page maps are for the photographs. And to be honest with you, I'm not really adhering to those either. Before I forget, because you know I will forget, pop that on the back so I know where this goes. So we have this. What are my page sizes? 4 by 6, which I can narrow that down. And these two I can narrow down. Okay, let's do that. Let's do this side. Look at the photo again. And do a little bit of that tree. This one we can do the headboard. And that one. And this one I can trim a little bit of this headstone, a little bit of the tree line. I'm going to be trimming these out, so I want more on the bottom of that one. Okay, so there's one. That's already done. It's on a wee crooked, but we'll just make it look like that. That'll work. There's two. I'm going to just pop this down because some of these scraps I might be able to use since I'm not finished. That didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out, so you know what? It's just a piece of paper. So we're going to do it again. And this time, I'll start tearing down here. Since it appears that my tearing skills suck, but that's a little better than what I wanted. So 4 by 6. Like that. Now, where am I going to put, well, my journaling's right there. Where am I going to put my title? Okay, so I stopped the camera long enough to get my sewing box, and in the process of getting my sewing box, I bumped everything. So I had to stop what I was doing really quickly and put the pictures back, and in the process of putting the pictures back, I found a new placement that I like. So I went ahead and stuck those down quickly so I wouldn't bump it again and lose my placement. And now I'm going to do some stitching. I'm going to stitch here and here, just to kind of pull the layout together. And then, if I can, I'll put my title here. If not, I'll put it on the second page. Okay, so I've gotten my stitching poked out, just double checking that I didn't miss any holes. When I started, just about started the pokey part, I was going to use Old Faithful. I was going to use this one. Even though it's falling apart, it's the one that makes me happy. It's the one that I gravitate to. But then I remembered that I had this one that I just picked up last week. And yes, I have 2 others of these just like this, but what makes this one different, don't know if you're going to be able to see in the camera, but I will try. The pokey stick goes all the way through. There we go. The pokey stick goes all the way through the way it needs to. On my other 3 of these that I have that have different designs on them, the pokey stick, the holes are not big enough, and the pokey stick barely, I mean, it goes like right there. It barely comes out at all, which is why if I use those, you see me using a push pin, because the push pin is a smaller diameter than my pokey stick. Now that particular one still, you get a little bit of hand fatigue a little bit. It's not as comfortable as Old Faithful, but it will do the trick. So now I'm going to take one of my favorite needles, take the old thread off of it that I was using, and I will put it away in a moment with the, I think this is Heather. Now these little threaders are, to me, indispensable. I use them every time I stitch, but they are not the most durable things in the world, so I found 1,000 of them, a package of 1,000 on Amazon several years ago for like $13. And I went, yes, those are mine. And I just keep them in a mason jar, because they really do, they wear out quickly. They're just a little piece of tin and a little bitty piece of wire, but they work better than any other stitching template that I own. I'm going to be stitching for a while, so I might as well put my stuff where it goes. Okay, so this, how's it go? Like that, okay. Did I start it wrong? This particular stitch is always a little difficult to get started. Okay, I think I see how it works. Trying to get the back started for you a little bit, so I'll flip it over and let you see what it's supposed to look like on the back side. Okay, so on the back side, it is supposed to be just 2 straight lines. On the front side, if I can get my finger untangled, it will be diagonals. So I'm going to just keep stitching. I'm going to do this side and just keep on going. I'm probably going to speed it up to make it easier for you to watch. So I want to come back in real fast and just show you the stitching and what it is supposed to look like on the back side. And if you have 2 straight lines, then you know this particular stitch is done correctly, and that it will be going the right direction the entire length of your stitch. So now I'm going to move over to this side. And I'm going to go ahead and just stop the camera because I have to hold it at a weird angle, and I'm afraid you will not be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to stop the camera and I'll come back in as soon as I am done. Okay, so I dug around in my embellishments bin and found a few things that I think I want to play with, but I want to make them shine and sparkle. So what I'm going to do is use my shimmer brush. There we go. It's been a while since that one's been opened. Get it started. And I'm just going to go through and paint. This is going to dry completely clear. But it's also going to add a bit of sparkle to my project. Grab my tweezers so I have something to hold on to. I'm squeezing it off on a spare piece of paper because I don't want it to get all gloppy on my sticker that I only have one of. So I'm kind of just making it do its thing on a side piece of paper. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to move over to this one. Let that dry. It does not take long for this to dry. So say it's laundry day and the laundry goes ringy-dingy, that it's time to change it. By the time you get done switching laundry or hanging up your laundry out of the dryer or whatnot, these should be dry enough to place. And I want all of this to be sparkly because it's going to be the only bit of sparkle on my layout. Now I can almost hear you yelling that I'm working in my dry area, that I should be working in the wet area of my mat, but it won't take long to clean up. Then I'm going to go ahead and sparkle all of these while they're on their carrier sheet, because with every layout that I've used these on, I've made every one of them sparkle. So it seems to be what I want to do with these particular die cuts. You can use a craft heater to make these dry faster if time is of the essence, but I have time for them to dry, so I'm good. I'm going to just scoot you over. So you can use just like a little Lysol wipe, or what I found really works well on this glass mat, and I picked this up at the dollar store, is just a little spray bottle of alcohol. And everything comes off this mat just like that. So while these are drying, I'm going to show you the stitching that I completed. I went and completed it off camera, and then I'll show you the back. On this one, I stitched it upside down, so I had to start it a little weirdly, so my stitching's off just a hair on this side, but as you can see, other than a little minor knot right there, the stitching is a straight line on both sides of it, which tells me I've got it going the right direction on the actual page. Okay, so we have finished letting all of this dry. So I'm going to just pick up my Word. And place it where I want it. Just going to hold it down for a moment. Are you? Oh, you're not a sticker. Okay. Sometimes it's a little hard to tell if something is a sticker or a die cut. And let's go back to our original. This is the page map that I was going for. And this is the layout that I ended up with. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know there's 101 different things that you could be doing on a Sunday morning, but I am very thankful that you chose to spend just a few minutes of it with me. Until next time, bye-bye.